So this is lesson number 73, Algebra 2, more on radical denominators. Okay, a couple lessons ago, we did some problems like this here. And remember, in order to get rid of the radical down there, we multiplied by the conjugate. Okay, so we multiplied our numerators, and that didn't change because we're multiplying by 1. And down here, when we multiply by conjugates, we square the first term, we square the second term, and we put a minus sign between them. Alright, so let's go ahead and square that. You've already practiced that, so 3 square root of 2 times 3 square root of 2 is going to be 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is square root of 4, so this is going to be 9 times 2, which is 18. Okay, so we're going to put an 18 here. And we get 2 plus 3 square root of 2 over 4 minus 18, which is going to be negative 14. And then remember, we split those up. What did we do here? 2 over negative 14 plus 3 square root of 2 over negative 14. This reduces to negative 1/7 plus, and nothing changes here. And because this negative is here, we could get rid of it and change that plus there to a negative, and there would be our answer there. Okay? So in this lesson, what we're going to do is the exact same thing, only we're going to make it a little bit more complicated. Okay, we're going to multiply it by its conjugate again. Alright, so on our top, we're going to multiply this times this, which means we're going to have to use the FOIL method. And in the bottom, we're going to do same old, same old. So let's do the bottom first. Square the first term minus square the second term. And this here is going to be 9 times square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9, which is 3. So that's going to be 27. So we can erase this here and put a 27 in its place. So we have 4 minus 27, which is negative 23. So that's our denominator. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we get for our numerator. So we're going to be multiplying these two together using FOIL. Alright, so our first term, our f, is going to be 8, 4 times 2. Our outside will be our 4 and our 3 square root of 3, which will be 12 square root of 3. Then we'll do our inside, which will be 2 square root of 3. And then we'll do our last, which will be square root of 3 times 3 square root of 3, which will be 3 square root of 9, or square root of 9 is 3. 3 times that 3 is 9, so this whole thing here will just be a 9. Alright, so let's add what we can together. 8 plus 12 plus 2 is 14 square root of 3. And remember, when you multiply things like that, you're just multiplying the number in front of the radical. You don't do anything with the radical. Or I'm sorry, when you're adding. The radical just stays the way it is. So we get this answer right here. We add our 8 and 9. And then that's over negative 23. And there's your answer. Okay. So the only thing weird we did is we had to do the FOIL method in the numerator in order to simplify that. So let's do one more here. Let's see. I guess I have two more. Probably have some differences here. 4 minus square root of 2 over 4 plus. Okay, we're going to multiply by its conjugate. Okay, let's do the top first. Top, there's going to be the first two numbers multiplied. And then the O and FOIL outside, 4 times 3. Okay, so that minus there is where I got that minus. And then the I inside, negative square root of 2 times 4. And then the last, negative square root of 2 times negative 3 square root of 2 is going to be a positive, negative times a negative, 3 square root of 4, or 2. Okay, because we multiplied square root of 2 times square root of 2 and got square root of 4, which is 2. So now we have 16 minus 12 square root of 2 minus 4 square root of 2 plus 6. So 22 minus, so we got rid of those two. We'll combine those. And we get that for our numerator. Alright, so let's circle that so we know what our numerator is. Alright, so now let's look at our denominator. Our denominator again is the first term squared minus the second term squared. 3 square root of 2 squared, our second one. So the 3 is squared, and then that's squared, which is 2. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Here is our numerator and our denominator, which would be, let me erase some of this stuff here, kind of put it together. 22 minus 16 square root of 2 all over negative 2. Okay, so let's split that up. Okay, negative, or 22 over negative 2 is negative 11. And then this is going to be 8. We've got two negatives there, so that's 16 over 2 is 8, square root of 2. And we're done there. Alright, so let's do one more, and we'll call it good. 3 square root of 12 minus 2 square root of 3 over 3 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 2. Alright, so let's multiply it by the conjugate. Okay. Let's do the above first. So again, we're going to do FOIL. So the first ones, we're going to multiply first. Gives me 9 square root of 36. The outside, this one and this one, are going to give me 6 square root of 24, 12 times 2. Now the insides, negative 2 and positive 3 is negative 6 square root of 9. Let's just put everything on there without simplifying it. Now the last, minus 4 square root of 6. Okay, so we have 9 times 6, because of the square root of 36. 6 square root of 24 can reduce to, let's see, 8 and 3, 6 and 4, minus, that reduces to a 3, so it's minus 18 minus 4 square root of 6. Alright, so this is going to be 54 plus square root of 2 is 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, so we brought that out there. Minus 18 minus 4 square root of 6. 54 minus 18 is 44, 34, 36. Plus this and this is going to be 8 square root of 6. So that is my numerator. Alright, so let's get rid of all this stuff and find our denominator. The denominator is probably the easier of the two to find because we don't really have to do a ton of work. All we have to do is square the first term minus square the second term. Squaring that is going to be 9 times 3, squared that, minus square that, square that. So that's going to be 27 minus 8. 27 minus 8 is 19. So there's our answer right there. 36 plus 8 square root of 6 all over 19. And that's it for lesson number 73.